Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bucket and I'm coming at you with Euro Truck Simulator 2. Not much Euro content this week, I know. I understand. I've been busy, plus Binding of Isaac being released, and I've got some decisions that I've been working on, at least with another game. Not that I'm going to post. Some things going on in EVE, and I've been kind of on the fence about doing something rather important to me anyways. But anyways, this week I thought I'd try and do a double dose of a truck showcase, but I've been having trouble because there hasn't been... I mean, there have been good-looking mods, but then when you read about them, they're terrible. And I actually try to avoid the really terrible ones. I don't mind bringing you a bad one, like I've said before, but I do try to avoid, you know, choosing a mod that is totally worthless. And, you know, just for the point of ripping on it. You know, there's no sense. But I believe we have a decent one, if not a good one today. And you buy it at the Renault dealership, believe it or not. That's not something you see very often. And it's right here. Sisu R500, C500, C600 normal roof. That's just how it's labeled. It's obviously Sisu R500. And the difference in the models is only the engine. I read that this is a Finland truck, which I find really interesting. It's a 4x2 chassis when you buy it, normal roof, left-handed drive, 460 horsepower engine to start, 2200 newton meters at 1050 by 1410. It's an OptiDrive gearbox with a 1000 liter fuel tank, which is not bad. You know, as you see, there's like 1600, 1200. So 1000 is not too bad, honestly. And at 106,000, it's not a cheater truck. So we're going to purchase this. And I don't know. It doesn't really matter where we send it. So I might as well just send it there. Okay. So let's go take a look at our Sisu, if that's how it's pronounced. I try and pronounce them correctly. I'm always afraid that I'm going to mangle it really bad and offend somebody. Cabins. We have a normal roof spoiler, high roof, and high roof spoiler, which, you know me, that's what I like. In chassis, we have 4x2, we have 6x2x4, which, interestingly enough, puts the single tire on the back rather than in the middle. That's definitely different, and actually kind of a nice touch, because the reality is that's how most trucks that lift wheels actually tend to work. The lifting wheel tends to be towards the back, so I actually kind of like that touch. We have another 6x4, 6x2x4. That's the more traditional version, puts the wheel in the middle. And then 6x4, traditional. Then we have 8x2, so he actually puts in this. And the 8x2 looks like the back wheel's lifted, or it may just be, you know, graphical where we are with the flat. But it has a dual wheel in the middle with single and single. We have an 8x4x4, and then an 8x4x4 again. And that puts the single wheel up front. I think out of all of these chassis, I am going to go with this one, because this is like the ones I normally like. But that's a lot of chassis right there. That's pretty damn amazing. You rarely see this many chassis put into a truck, so already this truck has grabbed my attention. Our engines, they range from 460 to 625, with a maximum peak of 2,782 newton meters at 1150 to 1500 RPM. Transmission, we have OptiDrive and OptiDrive R. Interior, you can change to like a, looks like a fake wooden dashboard, but sadly no right-hand drive for our English drivers and others that prefer right-hand drive. That's a little disappointing. Apparently it comes in one color, but you could probably do a custom color on it. Lots of points to work with here, so let's see what we get. We can put a bond... Ooh. I like that. We'll go with that. Dragonfly? That honestly looks like a tad much. Viking? Samurai? Sting? Honestly, I think this works. There we go. We'll drop some of these in. This. And then, couple screamers in the middle. Put roar there. And there. There. And there. Man, that's a lot. Different visors. I'll use the Ranger. Well, apparently we can put dice. Oh, it changes the color. That's pretty sweet. Where's, yeah, the red one. I like the red one. Although the black kind of looks a little bit more like it belongs. Don't like putting on a stock mirror. Okay, there it is. The tree freshener. That's a nice touch right there. Mirrors, plastic, paint, and chrome. I always prefer paint. Oh, you can put a grab handle on here? That's nice. Paint. Steps. Oh, you could put... Yeah, it's pull. Wow. You can put pull lights on here. Oh, you can remove the logo or keep it. Well, obviously we want to keep it. Before I go doing that, let's take a look at the bottom bars here. What's... Yeah, it's fine. Ah! I like that. Yeah, that definitely. And then some kind of a bull bar, maybe? Yeah, we could go with a simple bull bar like this. And then just throw in these lights. And then down bottom here, we could either go with that or... Accent really doesn't work with that bull bar. I'm just going to go with Mirage. And then we'll do light chrome too. Awesome. That's probably, yeah, we could just remove it. Alright, looks like we got something for the side tank here. Ah, side protection bar. Very nice. Very nice. It's not a side skirt, which would be even better, but it is something. And, you know, standard selection of tires. It doesn't add in any other tires. No, I like the alloy Vision one on this particular truck. And then we'll do Eastern Eagle like that. That looks okay. Yeah. Oh, something on the back. Oh, you could put pipes on this? Low, high. Well, you know I want twin pipes high. Don't know if it'll have the pipe sound, but... And I believe... Oh, you can do an interior light, huh? Okay. That's probably going to drive me fucking nuts if I do that. So just know you can put an interior light. Alright, that's that. That's that. I'm making sure I got everything. And then that. And then that. Okay. We did those. We did this. We did all this. Alright. I think we're good. This is our truck. Now let's see if we can do some kind of different... You know, you could do these paints. At least you can put the custom paints on it. That's actually pretty nice. That actually looks pretty cool right there. I actually think I want to go this, but I do want to change up these colors. I'm going to go more into a blue. And then, this is so typical of me. Blue and orange accent. I much prefer, I love the combination blue and orange. It's just how it is. Alright. I guess it's time to drive it, huh? That's pretty damn impressive right there in the modding. I have to say that much. Let's see what we got in our freight market. From here. We have 30-ton bulldozers going 435 kilometers. Sounds perfect. Decently heavy load, going the proper distance. How can you go wrong? I really gotta learn not to say stuff like that because something goes wrong. Right. Hey. Looks like it uses a version of the Renault dashboard. Lets me break up here and take a peek around the truck. The interior looks nice though. I like the look of the interior. I like the gear shift. It looks pretty decent in all due honesty. And I don't need both mirrors. Alright, let's back it out. Let's back it out, because apparently I forgot how to back up. And let's take a look outside. Nice! And I forgot the lights. So we want to turn the lights on. Oh, no. Okay. Wrong two. That two. Alright. Lights on. Sadly, the center lights don't light up on the truck itself. And I don't know why, because that's not the mod. That's part of the game. Just those lights don't light up. But everything else looks really nice. Alright. Oops. I apologize. It's like I've forgotten what buttons to press here. Let's, doesn't come with a built-in, GPS, though. That's kind of disappointing. I like the sound. I'm not sure if that's an in-game sound or not, but I like it either way. Now, the drawback to having the dice and thing up there, which you don't have to. I put them up there because, you know, I'm trying to test everything. The drawback is they don't move. Oh, yeah. Green light. I wasn't paying attention, but it's alright. You know, the dice don't move and swing, and neither does... I am so into this truck, I'm not paying attention to where the hell I'm going. I apologize. It will get better. As I said, I haven't played for a while, so I'm tending to forget things. I'm pretty sure that's a standard in-game truck sound. I think that's a Renault. And it would make sense if it were. I mean, it does use a version of the Renault dashboard, it looks like I said. Which is fine. I don't mind the display. I actually kind of like the Renault display, even though it's red on red. No standard horn. Well, Apparently it doesn't have a trigger for air horns. Because I tried, and we didn't get an air horn sound, which is disappointing. Alright. Looks good, honestly. Looks good. Alright. Let's get her on the road, shall we? Now, I'm guessing that with the upgraded chassis, we have a smaller fuel tank. Not that it's really going to matter on this run, but I would say that that's usually the case. You get a smaller fuel tank. Unless you get one of those ones that have the giant fuel tank on the back. Yeah. But I'm liking driving it so far.
Must be ready for charge. Thank you.
Wipers work. A little slow, but they work. Don't know if they keep the rain off, but I'm going to assume that they do for now until I'm proven or told different. Handles nicely, looks nice. So far, I'm impressed. There's not a lot wrong with this truck. And whatever little is wrong is actually so overshadowed by what's good that I've already pretty much forgotten what it was. I mean, like I said, I know the dice, but the reality is you don't have to have that there, you know? It does seem to be a little difficult to get up to speed. Now that could be the transmission I drove, that the gears are spread out to be a little bit lower. And granted, again, we don't have the most powerful engine under this truck. You know, much like the Renault, it only goes up to about 600 something horsepower, which the Renault goes to I think it's only like 440 or something. I don't remember quietly, but I know it's really low down. Now I know how I took that turn, you know, that's fine. Very stable going around there. This extra chassis, extra long chassis is really nice. It's a quiet truck. You don't hear a lot of noise. You don't hear any whines. At least none that I can pick up at the volume I have it. I don't hear any whining of a turbo. I don't hear any loud engine noise, which I know a lot of people really like, but in all due honesty, hello, it's much more honest to today's trucks, which this truck is obviously, you know, more modern. And I'm actually glad I'm getting to do more modern truck. I've been doing a lot of older trucks, obviously American trucks. To me, it just makes sense to finally be able to get to this point and do a couple modern trucks. I'm hoping to do another modern truck. We'll see how the mod works out. So I will probably say this once per episode, at least for a little while. There will come a point probably in every video where at least once I reset the recording. And there's not much I'll be able to do about it. You're going to see a jump in the video. That's all there is to it. And that's to help keep the audio and the video synced, because I've tried everything else to get the audio and the video to sync up and stay synced. The problem with the audio and video not syncing up is when the audio drops below, I had it right the first time. When the video drops below 30 frames for too long. And I know YouTube does 60 frames. I don't have the bandwidth to upload a 60 frame video, and I probably never will unless I like pay a bunch of money to Time Warner and join them, which, you know, isn't out of the question should my YouTube channel ever take off. But for now, you know, I got to deal with the bandwidth that I have, so I'm going to be one of those dinosaurs, which is probably going to hurt my channel. Is I've got to record. I can play at 60, but I got to upload at 30, you know, so. But either way, there will probably come a point in every video where you'll see a jump, and that jump a little too low in the gearing, but it's okay. And that jump, you know, I can't hide it. So as long as you know that much, it's fine. What the hell was that? In my career videos, when I go back to them, the jumps will probably be twice, because the length of the videos tends to be around 45-50 minutes. So I figure once every 15 minutes, 2 jumps. Videos like this, there should only be 1. So this is just setting that up for anybody who's subscribed and wants to watch, and you see a jump in my video. There is a reason. It's because I can't find any other way to sync up the audio and the video. And this was a technique I used to use. I still have intentions of SLIing another 660 in my computer. But probably not till, like I said, probably not till January. And I know that I'm way behind the grade in terms of graphics cards, but that's just the way it's got to be for now. I will get back up there some. I will have a, you know, Two 660s is pretty good. You know, even this one, I can run Shadows of Mordor on high without recording. You know, pretty well, and that's the frame rate issue, is the recording. I usually run between 40 and 60 frames depending on the game, even set on high. But when I'm recording, it suffers a hell of a lot more. So that's what the upper, that's why I'm wanting the card. Hopefully it will help that. My processor, despite this computer being a couple years old, is actually still pretty strong. And I have a good amount of memory in the computer, and it is, it's not DDR5, it's DDR3. But I have 8 gigs of memory, so I have a middle-of-the-road rig, basically, and I update it every so often, and I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off, but over the next year I want to start saving for another computer. Maybe not a full rework, but you know, new processor, maybe new motherboard. I can use the case that I have, and it'd just be a matter of getting it assembled, but I don't know if I can pull that off. It'd be nice to try, though. This truck's really nice to drive. Really smooth, sounds nice, looks nice. I'm just really enjoying this run. Turn a little harder there, dude. I know I've been silent for the last few moments, and that just, it happens to me, and it shouldn't. You know, that's part of the professionalism that you try and have while being on YouTube, but you just get so into what you're doing, especially with this game. You know, it's so easy to get into that zen frame of mind while you're driving that you just tend to forget that you're also supposed to be talking. Man. Especially when you get a good mod. This is just really, really good, you know? I like that these trucks are actually moving fairly well along this road. There's a little convoy going here. Bobtail up in front, standard trailer in the middle, and then bulldozers in the back. Whatever. Again, doing this is not about not getting fines. It's not about not getting in trouble. It's about driving and testing the truck, you know? And that's exactly what we're doing. Yeah, I could go for a pass, but I don't know. Things seem to be going smooth enough for the moment. I was actually looking at a post that somebody made on Truck Sim. Was pretty interesting in my eyes. They said the one thing that frustrates them about Euro Truck, and it shows actual European highways and what the off-ramps are like, and that the lane that you're driving on in reality in Europe probably won't turn into a sudden off-ramp, that they actually have separate off-ramps and arrows that point stuff, you know, just like most other highways. So yeah, as much as it's simulator, there's some things they get wrong, and I don't understand why they did it that way. Why they made it so that off ramps suddenly turn into, the lane that you're in suddenly turns into an off ramp, and you either have to quick move lane if you didn't see it in time, or you have to, you have to bounce down the off-ramp and find another way up. Come on now. Oh, this trip for some reason feels longer. Maybe because I haven't played in a while. It just feels longer. And just for the record, there will be more Binding of Isaac. Binding of Isaac is becoming a standard upload for me. It's going to be something that I always post. I'm not as fanatical at it as Northern Lion and BizSnap are right now, but at least in posting, but I have been playing a lot because, it's the game I play and I can't not play it. So no, actually I haven't gone any further on the file that I'm using to record because it made sense to me to not play that file anymore. But what has made sense to me is I need to keep playing because Binding of Isaac has always been my go-to game when I'm looking for something to do. But I don't want to spend a lot of time invested in a game, It's like, I don't want to get in a game where I'm going to have to be in it for a very long time. So what I do is I fire up Binding of Isaac. Games last anywhere from like 20 minutes to 45, 50 roughly. All depends on how you feel. We've been following this dude everywhere, haven't we? I really don't like that. And there's no other horn. Huh? Duh. There is, but it's not working right? What? What the hell's going on? Hang on. That's not right. Let me change air horn. I don't know how it got joy down, how that changed. That should be, yeah, that should be joy. Okay. Let's try this. There it is! No wonder it wasn't working. It just said joy down. It didn't say which one. I'm not exactly sure how that happened, to be honest with you. But now that I know it's worked, that's definitely a point in the truck's favor that was against it originally. Ooh, that was close. That was close. Guess I should put my lights on, huh? Getting dark. Oops, high beams are on. Now let's hear those horns in full. They don't quite sound off the same, do they? So you have to cut it yourself. Alright, that's fine. Sounds fine that way, though. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough! Yeah. Try just to get a backside look here from the outside. Looks good rolling down the street. It really looks nice rolling down the street like this. It really looks good staying in the center of the street instead of driving like way over the side. Very nice. Very nice. Get the beacons going like I should. And get in the truck because we're gaining speed. Should have had the beacons going to begin with. I completely forgot. Naughty, naughty. And we're actually getting pretty close to done. I'm getting a new mouse pad today. It's supposed to come in the mail. Can't wait for that to show up. My poor mouse pad's been so beat up. The type of mouse pad that I buy only lasts about a year with what I put it through. And yeah, they're typical. I think I've talked about this before, honestly. They're the gel pack mouse pads that are made to look like boobs, basically. And they're honestly comfortable, and I wish I could find one that I didn't have to have the picture on. So I basically look for some of the more toned down ones that I can find, and it's arguable what you can call toned down. Just because the standard gel pads that don't have faces are just these straight gel bars that go across, and they actually end up cutting off my circulation. These gel pack ones, they have like a dip in the middle because, you know, cleavage. And that helps, you know, the circulation. It doesn't cut my circulation off, so I really tend to enjoy it a lot. So, in all due honesty, it should be here soon. It's out for delivery today. It's arriving in the mail, so. Actually, it may even be here. I don't know, something showed up already, so. But I don't know if that was like FedEx coming with stuff or what the case may be. And we're here. No, not going to make the turn because of the chassis. Which is alright. Alright. Yeah. Alright, well, what can I say? It looks good. It runs good. It has a lot of options in order to be able to do upgrades. The standard upgrades, the bull bars and stuff, but you can put on the sidebars. It has an incredible amount of chassis options, motor options, cabin options. It even has sidebars for the chassis, which a lot of chassis don't even have that. It'd been nice if it had the full skirt. You can put pipes on the back. And I'm pretty sure that if you want to, you can go find an open pipe sound that you can actually use on this. It's a truly awesome thing. And the only thing that I can find wrong with it is the dice and the freshener option. Of course, they don't dangle and all that, but pretty much nothing does in this game because I don't think the physics are there for it. But you don't have to put them in. They're actually removable, unlike so many mods that are not. Everything works on it. Everything's smooth on it. It sounds great. It looks great. You can do customized paint jobs. I'm pretty sure that there'll be, I wouldn't be surprised if there's skins that come out for this. It's a really good truck, and I'd really highly recommend it. I can easily give this truck a 10 in terms of a mod and truck to drive, fun to use. But don't just take my word for it. Go and check the mod out for yourself. Link is in the description down below. Until next time, this is going to be One Big Bugger. I'm going to be signing out. I'll see you then.